We're going to start with a couple of sort of different things today. We have previously spoken a little bit about the obviously untrue allegation that Joe Biden wants to ban gas stoves to force people into woke electric stoves. At the top level, Joe Biden doesn't even have the authority to ban gas stoves. I know that sometimes, we could skip the entire thing just by starting there, right? Joe Biden doesn't even have the authority to do that. Why are we even talking about it? But this is a surprisingly sticky conspiracy theory, which I thought we were done with, but is now back in full force. Fox News brought on a guy named Charlie Hurt. He's a Fox News contributor. He also is he runs or is the editor in chief or has some prominent position at the Washington Times. He says, not only is it true that Democrats and Joe Biden want to take away your gas stove, but that the reason they want to take away your gas stove is because of hate, and it's because they don't like joy and they don't like happy things, and on and on and on. Listen to this and then understand. You and I see this as a completely transparent attempt to distract from the fact that Republicans have failed on policy. They offer nothing. They're out of step with the American voters on just about every issue. For many people who see this stuff, they see it and they get angry. And that's the point of these segments, to make people angry, to direct the anger at Joe Biden, even if Biden has no authority to ban gas stoves. Take a look at this.
It's so funny that people, they saw that her tweet, they saw her stove, they rightly heckled and mocked her and made fun of her and ridiculed her. And then all of the Democrats freaked out and went on and jumped online and said, oh, no, wait a minute. They don't want to take away the gas stoves. That's misinformation.
By the way, could you possibly sound whinier than this guy sounds?
No, they do want to take away the gas stoves. And in fact, they are taking away the gas
Why?
stoves.
Why do you think they want to do it?
In any of the places where they control things.
Is that why? Why do they want to ban gas stoves?
Yeah.
I think because they hate us. They hate humans. They hate joyfulness. They hate pies.
They hate pie. I didn't know that without a gas stove, there was no pie. That's really the biggest culinary revelation here.
They hate good food. They want us all to be miserable. They want us to suffer because.
By the way, I now am taking personal offense. The left hates good food. Have you seen the restaurants people go to in these conservative areas? I spent time in rural northern Indiana. Couldn't find a more conservative place. It's all gun stores and evangelical churches. The food was a disaster. Fortunately, in Goshen, which is a college town, there was like one hipster coffee shop where I got a so-so cappuccino. If you see the food scene in these red areas, the liberals hate the good food. This guy's off the wall.
When we're not suffering, if we're not suffering, we're we're making things, we're creating things, we're joyful, we're doing wonderful things. Everybody's happy, and that drives them crazy because they're all miserable. They want all of America to be as miserable and unhappy and unloved as they are, and we're just not going to go along with it.
They're not going to do it, courageously taking a stand against induction cooktops. So, reminder, Joe Biden does not want to ban gas stoves. Joe Biden does not have the authority to ban gas stoves. Where did this all originate? It's useful to know where it originates. There are studies that have shown that gas stoves release pollutants, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, particulate matter. It's not particularly good for your health. It may not be acutely bad, but in particular, if there's young kids in the house, if there's people with asthma or other breathing issues, it's not great. And earlier this year, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission suggested, hey, you know what? We may want to do something to encourage people to switch to healthier alternatives. Maybe there's financial incentives on electric stoves, or maybe we figure something out, right? Requirements for better ventilation. Who knows? This was interpreted as Joe Biden wants to take away your gas stove, when in reality, It's the idea that, hey, we know that there are some bad things about gas stoves. We used to cook with wood. It used to be that you burn wood in your house to cook. It was a disaster. So then when we moved to oil, when we moved to gas, that was an improvement. Well, hey, there are now further improvements that we can find. But it all originated from, hey, this isn't like the healthiest thing. Maybe we should look at how we can incentivize people to move on from gas stoves. The really important point here is that induction is great. No, in all seriousness, I saluted when they took away my gas stove last year and brought in my new oven with an induction cooktop. I'm not going back. It's absolutely fantastic. I couldn't even list all of the benefits here, but regardless of that, the actually important point, not my stove, the really important point is we often talk about these contrived social issues, cultural issues, conspiracy theories as merely distraction, stuff people don't care about, nonsense, not worth discussing. It is true that stuff like gas stoves, it is a distraction. It is nonsense. But the really sick reality of it is that there are a ton of people, poor people, who should be worried about economic issues, who get sucked into this stuff, who get sucked in and start focusing on things like gas stoves. So at the same time, the balance, the tension is these are total nonsense issues, and it is working to get voters to think about, hey, inflation's not down. No, they're thinking about, inflation is down. They're instead thinking about gas stoves. Unemployment's down. They're instead thinking about gas stove. GDP is up. Wages are up. Gas prices are down, well down from their peak. They're not thinking about those things. They're thinking about how Joe Biden supposedly wants to take away your gas stove, despite the fact that he has no authority to do so. So we need to, on the one hand, remind voters, hey, look at all these other things that are going well that these people won't tell you about. But it does also make sense to some degree to take this stuff head on because so many people fall for it. 30 million trees are destroyed every year for toilet paper in the U.S. alone. So toilet paper is a big contributor to deforestation and climate change. Our sponsor, Real Paper, makes toilet paper from bamboo. Bamboo plants keep growing, which means no deforestation. Bamboo also absorbs 5 times as much carbon from the atmosphere as pine trees. And bamboo toilet paper is stronger than regular toilet paper and even softer. So bamboo toilet paper is all around a win for you and for the environment. It's time to move on from that toilet paper from trees that you're using at home. When you use Real Paper, it doesn't feel like you're sacrificing anything. It's soft and fluffy, and they'll ship it to your door in plastic-free packaging on a schedule. Super easy. With every box of Real Paper you buy, they are funding reforestation efforts across the country through their partnership with One Tree Planted. So unlike the toilet paper that cuts down trees, Real is helping to actively plant them. Go to realpaper.com/Pacman and use code Pacman for 30% off your first order and free shipping. The link is down below.